Welcome everyone to our first breakdown of the Microsoft Wave 2 release notes. I'm Nicole, and with me I have Debs, who is our Senior Cloud Platform Consultant. Hello, Debs.
Good morning. Hey, everybody.
Okay, so I think let's just get straight into it and let's just tell everybody all the amazing updates that they're going to get in the near future. So the main topics that we're going to be discussing today is we have modern advanced find, improvement to forms, ease to copy links to records, the new save as new view, the ability to view your colleague's presence while you're in a record, as well as there's also updates to the customer voice, and most exciting is the Teams changes. So you'll be able to create and join a team meeting within the app or from your appointments, as well as using Teams within Mercury. But to explain this better, we have Debs. So Debs, please explain to us all these amazing updates that our clients will soon get.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Nicole. So I think the sort of the things that I'm most excited about, the things that will make the most difference to Mercury customers are probably the Teams changes, which I'll come on to. But so the new modern advanced find experience, I think this is a real game changer and an improvement for the Mercury product. So just to make this clear, this is the icon you used to see on the navigation bar, which looked like a funnel. We're not talking about the Mercury candidate search. That remains as it is. So this is the ability to search on other tables in the Mercury product. So maybe vacancies or placements or shortlists. So what Microsoft have done, they have kind of embedded the new search function within just the experience you're used to, which is working with a view. So let's take a look at what the new advanced find functionality looks like in Mercury. The first thing you'll notice is that the funnel icon that used to be on the navigation bar has gone. It's now much easier to do effectively an advanced find. So if you're looking for data that's coming from one of the tables that you have on the left-hand navigation, it's a simple case of going into the lookup for that table, and we're going to edit some filters and do it from there. So we want to, in this scenario, find all the placements that for candidates that are starting in October. So I'm going to click on the Edit Filters button, click on Add a Row, and I'm going to choose the start date. So I can either pick start date from the list of fields here, or I can start typing the name of the field. And I'm just going to set that to next month and click Apply. Now we can see that we've filtered the active placements view with our own criteria because we've got a little asterisk here. But what we're now able to do is we can save this as a new view. So I'm going to call this active placements next month and click Save. And now you'll see in your list, I've got two now, but I've got a view with a little person icon at the end of it, and that designates that it's a personal view. Now, the other way of searching on a table is if there's an example of a table that isn't listed on your navigation on the left-hand side. Let's take work histories, for example. If you go to the global search from the navigation bar at the top, we've got the option to search for rows in the table using advanced filters. So you can either pick from the list of tables here, or you can type in the table that you're interested in looking at. So I'm going to pick work history. And the experience is the same. It takes you into a view of work histories and you can start editing the filters. So let's take the example of, I want to look for people that have worked as project managers or project assistants. So I'm going to filter on the job title, and I'm going to say it contains the word project. Click Apply just there. And then again, I've got the ability to save this as a new view. And I'm going to say this is project managers and click Save. And now if I wanted to share this with one of my colleagues, we've got some a new experience when it comes to managing and sharing views. So if I click on Manage and Share Views just here, first of all, you've got some options to do with the way that the views are displayed to you. So you can either display the personal views at the top or the system views at the top, or you can mix them up so they're sorted alphabetically on the name of the view. I'm going to stick with personal views at the top. Now, there's my project manager view. So I have an option here to share. And it will be the simple case of finding the name of the person you want to share the view with, and then you select what they can do with it. So read with means they can just work with it. So I'm just going to give read permissions to my colleague consultancy tester and click share just there. So an easier experience if you've ever worked with the share option from Advanced Find. It was a little bit clunky, so that's definitely been improved. Now, the other thing you can do with this view option is with the system views, if there are lots and lots of system views, or maybe some system views that you don't use, you actually have the option to hide them. So let's hide the active work histories unmatched, and I'm going to set that back to system before personal and click apply. And you'll see that that view no longer appears in the list, which is quite handy. And then obviously the other option you've got there, if you want to set one of the views as default, if I wanted to set, for example, all work histories as my default view, all I need to do is click set as default just there. So I really like that functionality. It gives you a bit more control over what you see. And then talking about sharing records, this is a really nice feature. So if we're looking at sharing records, the share functionality in a record, it now matches the other Microsoft product. So you have the ability to share the link via an email, or just copy the actual link to the record and share that with another member of your team or somebody else in the business. So that's a really nice function, a quick win there, I think. Absolutely. And then moving on really to more about sort of the Teams functionality. So you can now view your colleagues' presence in a record. So this is really useful. You might go into one of your placements or one of your clients, and you will now see if one of your colleagues is also looking at the same record. So that ability to see that somebody else is also interested in that client, that vacancy, that candidate. So another really good new feature that's coming this October is the ability to see your colleagues' presence in a record. So you can see that I'm up here, and you can see Matt's the owner of the record, but we can also see another face just here. Sunny is also looking at this record. And this could be really useful if you find that, you know, one of your colleagues is interested in the same client as you. Maybe they're looking at one of your vacancies, or perhaps they're even looking at one of your candidates. And what we can do, because Sunny is looking at this record, we can start a Teams chat with him. And you can see that I've already set up a chat here. And that's the card that goes across in Teams to Sunny. And then Sunny has replied, sure. And one of the other great features about this Teams chat functionality within a Dynamics record is that the user that you are having the chat with doesn't have to have a Dynamics license to be able to see this information. So it might be the case that you want to have a discussion with maybe somebody in the finance team about one of your placements. You can start a Teams chat with them. They can see the details in one of these cards in Teams. They don't have to have the ability to go into Mercury to be able to see the details of the record. So I think that's a pretty game-changing bit of functionality. And the other thing that also is really useful in the Teams space is that you can now share links to Teams meetings from an appointment within Mercury. So let's demonstrate what that looks like. So if I put in just it's going to be a catch up. Let's select a purpose, and I want to say that yes, this is going to be a Teams meeting. And let's set up this Teams meeting for Monday at 2 o'clock, and I click save and close there. You now have the ability from within Mercury, if I go into the appointment activity, you can see this is what the meeting invitation looks like, the usual Teams meeting that we're all used to seeing. And you have the ability to join the Teams meeting directly from the record in Mercury. So that sort of brings things very much in line. So improve that integration between Mercury and Teams.
Amazing, amazing. I think the functions there are, like you say, are going to be game changing. I know we as Mercury are using some of them already, and it's already just kind of like cuts our workload in half. Like I don't have to go and search for something that I spoke about on Outlook. It's all now within Teams and Mercury. It just makes my life easier. So I can just imagine how it's going to affect our clients as well.
Yeah, and it's just tying everything together. And you know, in the world where we all have a lot of different, we want to try and reduce the number of apps that we're all using. So by having this link between Teams and Mercury and really improving that link, I think that's, you know, like you said, that's going to save a lot of time, and it makes things a lot easier to work with.
100%, 100%. One thing, when will this be available for our clients?
So the good news is, the good news is these updates are coming in October. So Microsoft call this the 2022 Wave 2. there's a wave 1 in April and a wave 2 every October. And so clients will start to see this change coming into their systems in the coming, well, within the next month.
Amazing, amazing. And I think you've kind of already said it already, but what feature or updates are you most excited for?
Yeah, so I think the Teams updates are really exciting, but from a sort of a personal point of view, as also a Dynamics user, a Mercury user, obviously I'm working with Mercury with a product every day in my job. The Modern Advanced Find is a game changer. It just makes everything so much easier. It's just there for you to use, and I think from the point of view of being able to save a view and edit those columns much more easily and get to the information that you want to see that's going to make your life easier really, really quickly and easily. I think the other key thing for Mercury users on that front is that you'll no longer see, if you go to the Modern Advanced Find, you only see the tables that are relevant to you. So previously you'd get a list of all the tables in the Mercury product, most of which you'd never want to look at. You don't even need to use, even I don't need to use them either. So that streamlines the whole process. So I think that's going to save a lot of time, and it makes you more able to get to the data that you need much more quickly.
Exactly. Time is money at the moment, and people need to get to their information quickly.
Too right.
Debs, thank you so much for your time today. For all our current Mercury clients, if you have any questions about these updates, please feel free to use our Mercury Community Hub. And for anyone interested in learning more about Mercury, please feel free to visit our website at www.wearemercury.com. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching. Debs, thank you again.
Cheers.